So they lied. They lied again. I mean, I'm not surprised, but it's incredible how egregious their fibs, their public betrayals, and their decisions to throw their so-called friends under the bus all the time really are. Harry and Meghan claimed...
Okay, let's just start with the obvious. They lied. Again. And at this point, you almost have to marvel at Harry and Meghan's ability to step on the same rake over and over, then act confused when it smacks them in the face. This entire Photogate situation with the Kardashians has turned into one of the most chaotic, overcooked scandals the Sussexes have stirred up in a long time, and that's really saying something. So grab a coffee, grab a snack, because this story has everything: A-list celebrities, phantom consent forms, furious Kardashians.
That the Kardashians, and specifically Kris Jenner, had done something wrong because they had apparently ticked a consent form saying that they didn't want their pictures to be put out into the public domain. Problem is, there was no consent form. It was an invention, a briefing to Tom Sykes of The Royalist to try and make these two look as if they were in some way taking the moral high ground over the Kardashians. And not surprisingly, of course, Kim and Kris and all of them are just totally furious because it's about the fact that they are overshadowing Kris's 70th birthday celebrations. No one wants the toxic twosome taking over every single major event in their lives. This reporting from Page 6 overnight. The Kardashians not happy about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle overshadowing Kris Jenner's party. An insider exclusively telling Page 6 that the famous brood is getting annoyed with the Sussex camp for overshadowing what was intended to be a celebration of Kris. The source, of course, referring to the drama involving since-deleted photos that were taken of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex from inside the bash. We're told a rep for the couple allegedly asked Jenner and Kim Kardashian to remove the pics they shared of the royals in Instagram photo dumps recapping the party. Additionally, a recent report suggested that Harry and Meghan marked no on an alleged consent form that was handed out at the Mommages soiree. But another source close to the situation adamantly tells Page 6 that's simply not true, as a consent form never existed. But the mystery is deepening, okay? And this is really interesting. And I want to bring, according to Taz Royal YouTube Sensation, in on this. Because, Tash, I have been looking very closely at the briefing and the counter-briefing. And there is a fascinating line buried within Alison Boshoff's report in the Mail today. Regarding the bizarre deletion of the pictures of the Sussexes, Team Jenner insists that there was an ask to post photos by one party and then an ask to take them down from another. Now, I want to translate that because, of course, Alison Boshoff is trying to protect her sources here, but what's very clear is that the first ask was from Meghan Markle. That's what I was told. Get these photos up. You know, why am I not in it? The second ask is Prince Harry. Take them the hell down. Now, Tam on X really made me laugh because they wrote, okay, just reading Alison Boshoff, came across this. Now, could it be that the first party was the ILBW and the second party was H? Now, Tash, I don't know about you because, you know, I'm a little bit older, okay? And I was like, ILBW? What does that mean? I don't know. So I put it into Grok and I was like asking. And Tash, it stands for Instagram loving bitch wife, a mocking term popularized in online anti-Meghan communities. I hadn't come across it before, but I mean, accurate as far as I'm concerned. But this is fascinating, isn't it? Because it very much matches up with my reporting across the week, which was to begin with, Meghan was very annoyed. Then there was this takedown request. The Kardashians were like, what the hell? You asked for these pictures to go up. Then Meghan and Harry said, well, we ticked the consent form. There was no consent form. It's one big fat lie. What do you make of it all, Tash, this Photogate disaster?
I mean, they're really messing with the wrong family now. Unlike the royal family, the Kardashian Jenner clan are not going to turn the other cheek. They will fight back. Harry and Meghan trying to make out that somehow they've been done wrong by them, when I think it's a miracle that Meghan got invited to that sort of level of celebrity party anyway. I think has definitely damaged them in that circle now. But yeah, I mean, it was clearly obvious there was something not right when the photographs were originally first being uploaded by Chris and by Kim, because we saw all of the pictures and Harry and Meghan weren't there. So this led to obviously people discussing it on social media, and then the mainstream media started picking up on it, saying it was a snub.
Drunk Harry, annoyed insiders, moral high ground Olympics, and Meghan Markle, yet again, turning a basic social interaction into a week-long PR meltdown. Let's start from the top. Harry and Meghan claimed, and very confidently, that the Kardashians handed out consent forms before Kris Jenner's 70th birthday bash. According to Team Sussex, they heroically ticked a no photos box because they are just so principled, and then, shock horror, Kim and Kris supposedly violated that wish by posting party pics that included the Sussexes.
And then, of course, the photos then, I think a few hours after a few media outlets had run this apparent snub, we started getting the pictures of Harry and Meghan. So I believe that I believe that Meghan definitely said, I want these pictures up. And then whether it be Harry or suddenly there was a bit too much backlash and their people got involved and said they needed to be taken down. But I do believe that they were asked to put the pictures up and then they were then told to take them down. It's creating drama. And the one thing that the Kardashian Jenners, I think, are not going to appreciate is this was an epic, huge birthday for Kris Jenner's 70th. And it's been completely overshadowed by Harry and Meghan because of their constant clapbacks, because they're getting people to run to the press, they're getting sources to speak to people. There was a consent form, there wasn't a consent form, and they have just continued to make it it's a week later, and they're still talking about Harry and Meghan. And I just do not think that that will go down well with the Kardashians at all.
It won't. It won't. And of course, one of the issues here is that they were so naive on so many levels. But also, I think a lot of this was also down to vanity because Harry and Meghan look so appalling in the pictures. Now, Maureen Callahan and Megyn Kelly are all across this on Meghan's show. Watch this.
Except, yeah, that consent form never existed. Not even kind of. Not in the slightest. Not a whisper of a form. Not a sticky note. Not a sentence. Nothing. Page 6 confirmed it. Kardashian insiders confirmed it. Even journalists who usually lean pro-Sussex confirmed it. They're done. Multiple insiders have said the same thing. This is why we didn't invite them before.
Well, and so who shows up and then scolds the host, the birthday girl, for having the photo with them? It's like, then don't pose for it, you idiot. Just say, I'd rather not.
How about don't go?
Right.
How about don't even go? You know, the thing that struck me too about those images of Meghan entering, you know, Harry had her by the hand, but she was several steps behind and she was beaming. Like this was like her fullest self-actualization. She's at a Hollywood party hosted by Kris Jenner. Now, if she had an iota of common sense, she would have realized that had she just stayed as a royal, it would have been the likes of Kris Jenner, desperate to be in a room with her.
Yes.
Desperate to be in a room with Meghan Markle, and how the tables have turned. And she's not as clever as she thinks.
Yeah.
She doesn't get that this is not good for her brand.
Yeah.
All true. But I think the biggest issue, right, is that Meghan looked horrendous, but Harry looked even worse. Totally drunk and pervy at a 70-year-old.
Yeah, he's totally ogling.
Yeah, he was
totally-
right, Tash.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
and so that's the issue. It was like, oh my God, these pictures are mortifying. And this was Meghan and Maureen's take.
First one where Harry is looking at Kris. If you look closely, okay.
His eyes
Do you see where they are?
on her boobs.
And he looks wasted, wasted. And Meghan, that's your prize, okay? That's your Duke, your Prince of the Blood. He's ogling a 70-year-old woman.
And, you know, the Kardashians have been pretty kind about this all week. But now the briefing is getting a little bit harsher. They are pissed off, especially Kim.
She was pissed that the Kardashians posted them. Meanwhile, what lunatic poses for a photo with a Kardashian and thinks it's not going to get posted?
Why are we alive? You know, to paraphrase Warren Beatty to Madonna in Truth or Dare.
Right.
If you're not on camera, why live?
Does it even matter?
Does it matter? So they go, the cost of entry, this is a blood oath you take when you cross the threshold of any Kardashian Jenner enterprise. You're going to be exploited.
Yes,
Your image and
yes,
likeness,
you are.
you are signing it away. Just kiss it goodbye. And so, you know.
You will be exploited. That should be like underneath the entryway of every Kardashian event.
100, like South Park, like we want our privacy, you will be exploited.
We want privacy.
We want privacy. And so these two, so apparently now the Kardashian Jenners are extremely angry with the Sussexes for making this ad hoc demand when the cost of entry, I mean, Meghan, the driveway leading up to this thing was they had hired like the best paparazzi in the business to take photos of all the guests coming in.
Yes,
This is how we got our favorite platonic couple, Oprah and Gail, together, right?
Yes.
Entering the Bezos-Sanchez lair. They were the ones throwing the party for Chris, by the way.
Okay.
Jeff Bezos.
Oh, naturally. Okay.
So, you know, there's all theories about why Meghan wanted to be in that party in particular.
But Tash, this is the issue, isn't it? Eventually, the Kardashians are going to say, well, this is why we hadn't invited them to previous events, because they cause merry hell every time. And it's a lesson to the rest of Hollywood as well. Like Lauren Sanchez and Jeff Bezos are going to be thinking, thank the Lord we didn't give them a pity invite to our wedding.
Translation: Harry and Meghan are not fun guests. They are not easy guests. They are not low-maintenance guests. They are not even reliably strategic guests. They are, in short, drama bombs waiting to explode. And Hollywood already has enough drama. They don't need amateur hour spectacle from Montecito. Instead of emerging from this bash-looking, glamorous, relevant, socially connected.
Yes, I mean, that's really true. They were very absent from the multiple parties that they held in the run up to their wedding and then afterwards as well. And I do think that this is going to have a knock on effect. Meghan hadn't been invited to any of the big celebrity events that we've been seeing, especially over the course of the last couple of years, even big Hollywood get togethers in Montecito on her doorstep. It's always noted when they don't go. But if they're going to bring this sort of drama when they do go to something, it's obviously going to end up with more invites for Meghan definitely being lost in the post. But I do think that the invite was for Harry anyway. I think the photographs of Kim with Meghan and Chris as well, with both of them, they're leaning more toward, well, Chris is definitely leaning towards more Harry. And that one photograph with Meghan trying to put her arm around Chris, where Harry was ogling her, it looked like she was dancing towards him. She's interacting with Harry, and Meghan's like, hey, claw's been activated. Don't forget about me. You know, I'm here too. And I think more than ever, she's shown that she cannot be trusted to go to something like this without making a spectacle of herself. The drama with the photographs, perhaps even Meghan was behind it, because as I said, a week later, people are still talking about it. And I think, yeah, I can imagine that the Kardashians are really annoyed, because as I said, it wasn't just any party. It was the matriarch's 70th birthday party. And those two have still managed to somehow overshadow it and make it all about them. And I don't think that will be forgotten easily.
And the author Tom Bauer has spoken out now, Tash. He's obviously the man behind the Meghan Markle book Revenge, but he's currently working on a sequel. I just want to tell you what he says, Tash, and get your reaction. He says, it's noticeable that Harry is unable to stage the Richter smile, which actress Meghan always displays for the cameras. He looks fed up being paraded one day at a sports match and on another day at a celeb party. Clearly, he is now worried what revenge his brother might one day carry out against himself and his ambitious wife. The Duchess has become not so much a guest for hire, but a guest searching for publicity. And this time she has landed a major party trophy. For the first time, she's mixing with A-list celebs. That's a great coup for a Duchess searching for security and approval. And I guess what he is referring to, though, Tash, in terms of Harry clearly being worried about what revenge his brother might one day carry out against him, is because the briefing to Page 6 earlier in the week was that the reason behind asking for the Kardashians to take the pictures down was because Harry didn't want to annoy the British royal family. But again, to me, that is just total spin. They've never cared up until now.
Exactly.
They tried to literally destroy Prince William's Earthshot Prize last week. It's like, it's nothing to do with the royals.
And A-list adjacent, they walked away looking dishonest, petty, insecure, and totally out of their depth. The Kardashian Jenner machine didn't even need to attack them. All they had to do was correct the record and let Harry and Meghan's meltdown speak for itself. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you think or what you want to see next.